Alright, in this second video I'm going to go through the finishing of this harvest table. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to take some rough grit sandpaper, like so, and this is 60 grit, and we need to go over the whole thing. And the reason I'm doing it by hand, I do have an orbital sander, but the reason I'm doing it by hand is because this wood filler stuff that we used to fill in the cracks last time in the previous video will gum up the orbital sander, the little palm sander, really fast. So I'm going to do just the coarse grit by hand, get it all smoothed out, smooth out these saw edges on the sides, and get it all roughed up, and then we'll clean it off, and then we'll get ready to do the finer grit with the orbital sander. Alright, now that we've got the top of the table rough sanded, we're going to use an orbital sander here, and I'm going to be using, this is 180 grit disc. But you can use whatever you want. You can use a couple intermediate grades or whatever you want to do to put as much time into this as you want. But I'm going to go straight from 60 to 180, kind of make this as smooth as I can in about 15 or 20 minutes, not overdoing it, because remember, this is supposed to be like handmade, kind of rustic, so you don't want it to be 100% perfect. Alright, now as you can see, we've kind of kicked up a lot of dust in here, so I'm going to spend some time cleaning this up, blowing, using my blower on my vacuum to blow the dust, for the most part, out into the, away from the garage, I guess, and then we'll wipe down the top of the table with a damp cloth, just to collect the last of the particles and get it ready for staining. Okay, let the wood dry a little bit from wiping it with the damp cloth, and then go ahead and grab your stain, read the directions thoroughly, and get ready for staining. Now you're going to want kind of a bristle brush probably. You can use a rag or an applicator, but I like to use a brush. Now this is a stain that my client has, the person that's having me build this table for them anyway, has chosen and picked out. This is a water-based stain. I haven't used one of these before, but I read the directions. There's nothing really special about it. So go ahead and stir this up real good, shake it up, and then get ready to, now what you want to do is you want to lay it down with the grain fairly evenly, and then you want to wipe it off with a cloth. Any excess, you don't want to let the stain sit on the table for more than 3 minutes. If it hasn't penetrated in, you need to wipe it up and then save, let it dry out and then save it for a second coat if you want it darker. But don't let it pool up. It's not going to look good if you do. You'll notice that this is part that I've already gone stained and then wiped with the towel, and this is not. So you'll notice that it almost looks like it's a paint before you get on here with the rag and start wiping away the excess. Then it shows the wood grain, and it actually looks really, really cool. Alright, here's what the top's going to look like once it's done. This is one coat, and next we need to do the sides and the underside of the table, which is going to be a little bit more of a challenge, getting on your hands and knees and on your back. But just wanted to show what it's going to look like when it's done. This is kind of an onyx colored stain, so I think it's turning out pretty cool. Now we're going to go ahead and paint the base, as I've already started doing so here. The person who's commissioned this piece of furniture has asked me to paint the bottom in this kind of pebble gray color, and then she's going to distress it with some chalk paint. So we've got the onyx color stain on top, and then we've got a latex paint on the bottom. Now you can obviously do whatever you want. You can stain the whole thing, or you can paint the whole thing, whatever look you decide that you like the best, but that's what we're going to go ahead and do here. So I'm going to put 2 coats of this paint on. Okay guys, here's what it looks like when it's done. We got the stain on top. You're going to want to clear it with some urethane or something. My customer is going to take care of that themselves. But we got 2 coats of the paint on the bottom. Looks pretty good. She's going to use some chalk paint to distress it out, we decided. And anyway, thanks for watching the video and good luck with your build.